Well, you can still see my breath. It's still pretty cold in the barn. It's enough, you know, when you're grabbing steel with your hands, it gets pretty darn cold. But at the end of the day, no excuses. We got to work on this truck if we want to put it around and we want to drive. The only person we'll have to blame is ourselves if it's not done. And you can talk, you know, making unrealistic goals, you know, saying things should be done by a certain time when it might not be possible to do that, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is if you don't get out and do it, struggle through those tough times, you'll never get to enjoy the good times with the rig. That being said, even though it's cold in the barn, we're still going to plug away on this truck. We got a couple things we want to do. We want to rip this engine out. We want to basically finish up the cross members. We got to finish up the middle one, got the bottom one to do, and the top with the cab mounts, and then we can kind of build off of it. But I kind of want this engine, transmission, transfer case combo out of here, and I'll show you guys why in a second. But we got a couple things we got to unbolt on this, and then we can go right at it. So, welcome to High House Stable Garage. Got a little bit of a scrap pile going on here. That's just kind of everything we've been able to grab. But we still got more stuff to add to that, but in order to do that, this engine, transmission, transfer case combo, all that has to go. So we already got the motor mounts out, the cross bolt, can lift that up. Currently, as far as I know, it's only being held in by the transmission cross member bolts or the transmission mount bolts. I think they're 18s, kind of go up there. And we got 4 12 mil bolts that hold on that front drive shaft. We're going to lift out the whole unit. So really all what's going to be left is that front differential. And when we do the front end, we'll likely take that guy out, clean him up, all that stuff. But for right now, he'll stay in there just kind of hanging out. But we want to take this whole guy out of here because likely what we're going to do is box that guy in, all that stuff, considering that's pretty much the only C channel left. Might as well box it at the end of the day. But that's ahead of ourselves. We got to get this guy out. So first things first, let's get those 2 bolts. So let's just kind of rummage through this toolbox of a cab I got going on here. There we go. We'll use that guy. So, now that that came off, it's time to see if we can get those 4 bolts off for the front differential. Technically speaking, the engine and transmission transfer case exhaust assembly should all come out now. There's only this little wire right here I just got to cut. But it all should come out, relatively. So what I gotta do right now is I'm just gonna move the box a little bit more further back. We're gonna roll this guy back as far as we can, engine, and we'll kind of place it by the square body bumper. So, a lot of work to do. Let's get at it right now. So, this is what we got going on for the engine. We are electing to lift transfer case, transmission, and engine all in one. Kind of looking over this 542 valve setup, automatic transmission, automatic transfer case, and not a whole lot of spots that you can lift off of. Usually on a V8, like carbureted V8, you can go right off the intake. I got a little wheelie-dealie that you put on there, and then you hook your whole system up to that. Use a clearance bar, use a load bar, move it all around. Plastic intake on this fella. So, you got to get creative a little bit. What I elected to do, and I think from factory you can likely put a little mount in there, maybe a bolt or something, have an eyelet, lift the whole thing. We're not reusing any of this exhaust manifold anyway, so I'm electing to go around the exhaust. Both sides should be able to lift up the whole unit. That's my idea anyway. So that's what we're going to try out. Let's see how. The only problem I can kind of foresee is we might have to add like a strap or something to the back of the transfer case to the front. Just kind of keep it from sagging down, but only one way to find out. All right, I just got to quickly cut that little ground strap off and we'll keep on going. Well, we got most of it out. Kind of did a coolant flush on my floor. I'll have to clean that up. So, things that we got to basically move around and do some stuff to. Easy peasy stuff. Got the power steering box there and the reservoir, all that stuff. It's got a cap off the reservoir. Basically, my feed into this. And then I got a couple lines going to my box. So I just got to take those guys out and then we can keep on lifting. Always the case. Always the case. It's the one you don't have and you can't. And there we go. Got a nice blank canvas. Engine's out. I think that went actually quite well. And now we can kind of see what we're dealing with over here. Nice. All right, so now that we got the engine all out of there, frame rails all open, I can actually start welding back on that now that I can, get my body where that transmission was. right, so there you go. There you go. That's the middle cross member. Now, are they great welds?
No, not at all.
Are they pretty good flux core welds for, having a glove that's made of cloth and just
Letting the sparks fall on you? Yeah, I think they're pretty
It's
good.
an added bonus that all of this is going to be covered up anyway. A nice sheet of paint or undercoat and all that stuff. No one's ever going to see it. So, that's fine by me. It's all seam welded. I don't know if we're going to seam weld the rest of them. Maybe those top ones, but I think the bottom one we're just going to do little strips. More like a factory type deal because that guy took a long time. But at least the center, the main of the cab is all braced up. So, time to do the double right here. Exact same thing, just down a notch.
And that double, fellas, that's mainly for, your seat. That way when you have your weight jumping up and down, it's not going to bend the cab all to death. So, knocked off my ground. So yeah, let's start working on that double right there.
Turned out pretty good. Remember, you can't see this when it's on the ground, when it's on this guy. Those are just, so I got some strength inside this cab when you start flopping around in there doing high G.
Racing little 302 swapped RX-7s, You got to be able to hunker down and not have the floor be a crazy carpet for you. So those two cross braces are really going to help. So now we can actually start working on the cab braces, the cab body mount there, and the cab body mounts on the bottom. Here's the thing. Now that we got our 2 braces done in our middle, we got to start working on either the bottom brace that goes across, which are body mounts, all that stuff, or we can do the top body mounts and work our way out. I kind of want to do the bottom one first. That being said, we got to hike this entire thing up. So it's time for Sketchy Lifts Part 2. Let's see if we can kind of hike this guy over, maybe jam some wood under it. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. If we break the extra window, I'm not even going to be sad. That worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to, tell you the honest truth. Awesome. Sometimes sketchy works.
Would you look at that? Everyone made fun of me, about that old hump there. The old C-notch, aggressive C-notch. But guess what? It holds the cab some nice. Yes, sir. That fella's not going anywhere.
All right, so what I'm thinking here is we save the actual mounts. They seem okay. I think I can weld off those. We're going to have no problem there. Just cut it flush, both sides, take this old cross member out, and we'll build one out of the scrap steel we have left. That's likely going to end the trailer saga. I don't think I got enough trailer stuff to do cab mounts, but we got enough to do this bottom mount. Just link the whole two. Let's get at it. Let's start cutting.
Fellas, I think that's coming along quite well. We still got to do that bottom brace, and then we can do those 2 top cab corners, but I think it's going to all turn out hunky.
So yeah, there you go, fellas. Piece by piece, we're reconstructing the bottom of this cab. We still got lots of work to do, but as long as we can get the main body parts done, so I'm talking my cab mounts, cross braces, and rear cab mounts, then we can work our way outwards because everything's going to be nice and strong and sturdy. That's at least the idea anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. There's a lot of welding going on to this, and there's a lot of work, but it's going to all be worth it. It's all going to come together. Just you guys wait. Awesome. I'll catch you guys in the next one really, really soon. All right, see ya.